Page 134, Sonatina in C major, first movement. No sharps or flats, C major's key, A, that's fine. 16 notes all over the place. 1 eanda, 2 eanda. Look at this first here. This first measure, these notes, that's just a C chord. And the second measure, those notes, that's a C chord. Okay. So if you need to, forget the rhythm and just get these fingering down. Here, here, and then come down here, and then here again. We're just coming down. Okay. We do that sometimes. So then you get 1 eanda, 2 eanda. 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 1 eanda, 2 eanda. Then cross over. And again, I recommend you finger it at first, all legato. Play it all legato. You're down, you got to lift up at the end of the first line because that's a long way. Got to have really big hands to do otherwise. And this is, again, this chord we're going to do. 1 eanda. Second finger now. And now thumb. See this? It's like a turn we've had. And then we have some more of these turns. The sequence, you're just coming down. We're going to play each of these things in the sequence the same. Finger it the same. See, there's different ways of fingering this. I prefer a thumb, thumb 4/3 each time. Because that's how I finger turns, and that's really what these are. But this fingering is fine. We're just doing each of these the same. Just finger it that way, it's okay. At the bottom there, the last line, second measure. Come up, reach up a little bit. Again. Now watch at the top of page 135. Look, they want thumb on the C. Come on in a little bit, and then second finger. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. That has to be an error in the fingering. We can't do it that way. So I'm suggesting you do this. It's the first measure at the top of page 135. You're in this position from before, the last measure so you're in this position. You're starting that with third finger at the top of the page there. And I recommend it's a 2-1 and then cross over third finger on the A, and then 2, and then third finger on the G sharp. And now thumb on the A. Now you're back to what they've got. I think that works much better. And then you're back to what you were doing at the beginning. Let's go down to the fourth line there on page 135. You're here. Now we just got the C major scale going up and down. If you've been doing the C major scale like I hope you have, this sort of thing is easy. Just cross over, hit one. And a third finger there. And we don't need thumb there on the last one because we're not going back up. Now it's the chords. So if you're doing your C major scale, it's fine. If not, you may have a problem. I suggest you accent these to start with. If they're not even, you're struggling with it, accent them. Every beat. 1, 2. And drop the wrist a little bit on each accent. Keep the wrist loose and flexible. And you can gradually, once you get that, you can speed that up. Maybe accent every 4 quarter notes. Until it's nice, smooth, and even. And then you don't have to worry about it, you're just natural accents. Like at the beginning of each measure. Left hand, keep the left hand soft, it's just supporting it. It's not doing a whole lot. At the end of the first line, those notes. I like to use different fingers on repeated notes. So you can play them all with thumb if you want. Or I can do a 1, 2, 1. I'm just alternating 1 and 2. Whatever, or or play them with the same finger. It's up to you. You're going to move around a little bit in the left hand, but still finger it legato to start with. Put the hands together slowly. Now, I'm too lazy to go 1-handed, 2-handed, 1-handed, 2-handed. So I think 1 and 2 and I know there's 2 16th notes in there. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. See that left hand's tied there. Work all that out. So legato still. So the hands are working together. Get rid of the hesitations. Those places where you're hesitating or missing notes, work on those little spots and iron all that out. Then you can go back and add the articulation. That's really for the right hand. You can keep the left hand legato pretty much. So it's here. The way it's slurred at the beginning, by disconnecting the notes between the slurs, disconnecting the slurs, you're already playing that last note in the slur staccato. And my impression is when they give you that staccato, they want it shorter than that though. They want a shorter staccato. It's an interpretive thing. You'll have to experiment and decide how you think you want it, or your teacher will tell you how they want it. But just kind of disconnect it. While we're here, I'll just mention real quick on this fingering, on the second measure. I tend to do those C's with 1, 2, and this puts me in this position. I don't have to cross over the thumb. That's how I tend to play it, because you don't have to stay there. There's different ways of fingering things. I can't tell you one way's right or wrong. It's just this is how I would do it. I would do a 1, 2 on the 2 C's. And then a thumb on the B. You keep in mind this is a fast piece. We need a fingering that will work, and the fewer times I have to cross over the thumb, the better. So again, both hands at the beginning. Now, I disagree with the phrasing here at the bottom here. I would run all that together. Used to be a way, a long time ago, 1700s, whatever, where they would not draw slurs over a bar line. Now here you already have slurs over bar lines here. And when this person was living and composing, that practice of not drawing slurs over bar line was long gone. It's just here that doesn't make sense to me to have each measure by itself. That would be, in my opinion, more appropriate for maybe a violin bowing, where down, up, down, where each slur tells you when to change it. I would connect all that together. I mean, the left hand's connected, so why not connect the right hand to it? Just, to me, that works better. And at the top of page 135, at that measure, I would connect that to the next measure. I would not go up here because it leads into it. And I always connect something that leads into something, I connect them. I don't know. So I would connect that, the slur in the first measure of the top of the page, draw that over to the staccato G that's here. That's my impression of it. But when you get down to the bottom, the fourth line there with these runs, I would connect all those together. I would not separate these measures. You can separate the left hand if you want. I'll leave that up to you. hand there if you want to connect them. My feeling is to disconnect them. I mean, it's an interpretive thing. It doesn't say anything. So you're free to do whatever. You know, if he really wanted something a certain way, he would indicate that. Otherwise, it's up to you and your musical interpretation, your musical taste, or your teacher to tell you how to do it. So my inclination is to separate them. But then you got to play separated in one hand and legato in the other, and that's good practice too. So work that out and then add the dynamics. And the dynamics here apply to the right hand. Keep the left hand out of the way. You're soft at the start, and you swell. Come up to here and there. Left hand has to be very soft. Swell. Now you're moderately loud. That's the right hand. Keep the left hand out of the way. Now you're soft because you had a diminuendo there in the end of the third line. Now you're soft, and you're going to gradually crescendo up to the end of the page. Right there, and then go back down to soft. So each of these at the bottom of page 34, each measure is a little louder. So it's here. And then the third line down, you're moderately loud. Then you into the line, diminuendo, back soft. Moderately loud. Echo. And you're staying soft. That's the stuff they're indicating in the music. Get to know it, and you can feel these dynamics. You might get a little louder and softer in other places, if you feel it that way. Speed-wise, it's allegro, which is fast. How fast? I don't know. What's fast to you? You have to play it accurately and under control, and all these notes have to be even. These runs have to be even. So that you have a speed limit. Don't go beyond it. But fast. Don't make it a finger exercise. And that is, oh, watch how fast I can play this. Play it musically. Turn it into music. Slow it down and make some music out of it. It'd be wonderful. I'm guessing you can find recordings of this somewhere. I don't know if he wrote more than one sonatina in C major or not. I'm not familiar with Frank Lynes. You're going to have to Google him and see if there's a recording of this someplace. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and rhythms. Not going to do dynamics, just notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 4 counts, and let's try this extremely. I'm going to put the metronome on 8th notes. We are going to drag this, but I want you to make sure you got the right notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 4 counts, or I'm going to give us 4 8th notes, 2 beats. Now let's try this. 1, 2, ready and go, and 1 and.
rest.